take a step back before I get all up in your
remember, because I don't remember. I remember every bit of this.
You're the dude holding on the phone line. Your voice will be heard, sir.
Next caller, please.
Oh!
Jerry's gonna get him.
Fantasy sports and politics. Fantasy sports and politics. Fantasy sports and politics. Fantasy sports and politics.
Listeners are asking questions about this week's games, not Jerry's personal beef. So what's your thought?
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Fantasy Sports and Politics. It's me. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited. I got choked up. It's me. It's Mr. FSP. Welcome to Fantasy Sports and Politics, Saturday edition. We no longer do our week stuff, but I'm thinking about bringing it back. I really am. But it's so much stuff going on in the world of football this past week. This is going to be a long show. It's going to be a long show. I can guarantee you that myself and my co-host, JT ATM Money, will give you as much information as we believe it to be so in a fashion that is entertaining, professional, and to your liking. Maybe not. We'll see. But with that being the case, I got to bring in my co-host. Oh, first, before I bring him in, feel free to make a comment on the show or whatever it is you're viewing us on, whether it's LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, or wherever you're viewing us from. And we'll post a comment. But I warn you, some comments may go up, some comments may not. We're trying to keep it professional. I got a feeling it probably won't last that long once I say what I got to say, a few things. But let me bring in my co-host, JTATM Money, because it's all fun and games until somebody gets hurt. What's up?
Peace. That's a peace sign.
That ain't the peace sign.
That's a peace sign. You can't see two fingers up.
Okay, because we only saw one part of that. Yeah, we only saw one part of it. Yeah, see that we only see one part of it. Hey, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Because you were about to get tossed off the break. Oh my God. You wore black for a reason because you wanted to act a fool. Oh my goodness. Anyway, I apologize for those who felt like I did, got me spitting that Mr. Taylor was being obscene. He's starting off on a bad note. Anyway, as I sip my lemonade, the reason why I was saying, folks, that I was considering bringing back a show in the middle of the week is because all the movement that happened this week. I mean, it was a lot. A whole lot. Jerry was wrong. I was wrong. Mainly Jerry. But we thought Justin Fields was going to be a hot ticket item and he was going to be going to Atlanta. And I said Minnesota, if not Atlanta. Still didn't happen. Honestly, I'm of the mindset that Justin Fields will remain in Chicago and Chicago will not be drafting Caleb Williams. But I'm going to get into that when we get to it. Jerry Taylor, let's talk. Tell me your three biggest free agent signings that you felt will be impactful to the new team and division. And then I'll give you mine and we'll go from there.
Right off the top of this, right off the top. Going from, I shouldn't say going, staying in the NFC East, Saquon Barkley. Staying in the East, Saquon Barkley.
Number 2, but yeah.
Going to the Jets, Tyron Smith. going to the Jets. Big. That's a big signing. They addressed what they thought they needed. What I shouldn't say thought they needed was an offensive lineman, and he is a Pro Bowl. Maybe not now, but he's a Pro Bowl, very good offensive lineman, and a veteran. And my third one, I'm gonna surprise you with this one. I think he's going from a number 1 to a number 2. Keenan Allen.
You did surprise me with that one because we don't know who his quarterback is, and
doesn't make a difference.
No, I understand what you're saying. I think he's still number 1, regardless of who the quarterback is going to be. But okay, that was a big trade, especially considering the fact that he got rid of your second BFF, Mike Williams. They kept Khalil Mack and got rid of. Did they get rid of Bosa? I think they got rid of Bosa.
Nope.
Or they were going to get rid of Bosa.
Bosa restructured his contract.
Okay, so Bosa is the only one that's remaining out of the top 4 of their salary cap problems. Khalil Mack is gone. Williams is gone. Keenan is gone. They're well under salary cap right now. They got rid of a often injured, always underperforming receiver. Bosa is good. Mack was more productive, but Mack was older. And if you recall, Q made a comment about how when Mack came into the league, there was an issue with Harbaugh not wanting him when he was with the 49ers or wherever he was. Yeah, the 49ers.
Who?
Khalil Mack. I can't remember what Q said.
No.
It
went from Chicago.
I know. What I'm saying is they
never was with.
I know he was not. That's what I'm saying. There was a problem with Harbaugh not wanting him, and that's how Chicago got him. That it was something like that. If Q comes on, I'll ask him to rehash that story. I might have it backwards.
Wait a minute. Khalil Mack went from the Raiders to Chicago to the Chargers.
Whatever.
And Harbaugh never.
Was some story. I know that, but there was some issue that Q brought up about Harbaugh and Mack. Something I can't remember exactly what it was.
I don't know about that.
However, he's older, more productive, but they're really going to change the way things are done in Los Angeles. Your 3, interesting. 2 of the 3 are interesting to me. I don't think the left tackle is that interesting because Tyron Smith rarely plays anymore. And I get it. You got Morgan Moses, Tyron Smith, and they got another guard to help protect Aaron Rodgers, who might try to run for vice president. So you don't know what's going to happen. But I'm going to say my top 3 are as follows. Kirk Cousins, signing a 4-year deal with Atlanta, $150 million with $105 guaranteed. Impact. They, being Atlanta, don't have to draft a quarterback right away with their first-round pick. They can wait the second, third round to get a quarterback. And there will be a Bo Nix. There may be one of the other quarterbacks, a McCarthy, there for them to get in the second round.
Penix.
Nah, Penix is going in first. And I'm going to get to that when we get to the other part of the show. But he goes to a division that is weaker, I believe the weakest of all divisions in the NFL. Honestly. Tampa Bay just gutted their linebackers. Why? Devin White was not used properly, but Devin White went to Philly. And that brings me to my number 2, which is your number 1, Saquon Mickey Fickin Barkley. Philly should be the odds-on favorite to win the NFC East. Hurts, Barkley, Smith, Brown, Goddard. That's just the offense. That's just the offense. And if a player such as Miles Sanders and DeAndre Swift, who I both put below Saquon, can do what they did, I get it, 2 different offenses going to a third offense that is a throwing offense, but Saquon can do both. He's perfect for what Kellen Moore wants to do when he does want to run the ball. Impact beyond measure. But we got to think about this. Jason Kelsey was also anchor for that offense as the center. The replacement was drafted as a center but moved to guard for a couple years. So he's familiar with the system and stuff like that. He's just moving back to center and taking the spot that he was supposed to be getting a year or so ago. Number 3, and I don't care what you say about this man, JT. You put that crown on him, you give him Lamar, and you make the king.
Let me.
Wait a minute.
I have
The
not been talking
king
about you.
is
And you still
very
hard.
much. Wait, excuse me. And the king
You'll see.
is very much in the building
Ladies and
with
gentlemen.
Lamar Jackson, Zay Flowers,
Jade.
and Andrews,
Let me tell you.
and all that. If you have Gus Edwards, who very good back, and others, J.K. Dobbins, who is probably done, or will be the backup now. In that system, where, and we talked about this before, and it hit me when the signing happened, where we talked about how having RG3 and Alfred Morris, made RG3 a better quarterback because of that read option stuff. Just imagine defenses lining up to stop Henry and stopping Lamar, but leaving Zay Flowers one-on-one, leaving whoever else is on the outside one-on-one, giving Mark Andrews a slow, strong safety to cover him, or a smaller nickelback to cover him. It's going to be a problem.
Okay.
It is going to be a problem, and
Let me
I have to at least the AFC Championship again.
Let me explain this to you, young buck. Let me explain this to you. Let me explain this to you. Mark Andrews has not completed a full season, has been constantly hurt over at least the last 3 or 4 seasons. I think he's only played 1 full season out of the last 3 or 4. Okay. And also Derrick Henry. My brother. Let me put it this way. For all you Derrick Henry fans, including that man right there, consistently
acknowledge him.
Consistently are on that bandwagon, and Mr. FSP and those who are considering Derrick Henry as the king. I said last year, and I'll say it again this year, and I said it before. And I haven't been wrong for the most part on Derrick Henry. I haven't been wrong for the most part on Derrick Henry.
But you've been wrong. It don't matter if it's most part or not.
Wait a minute.
You've been wrong.
Wait a minute. if you judge this at 100%, and I've been right about Derrick Henry 75%, you just
75%.
oh yes I have, and you know
No,
I
you
have. Yes,
you
I
haven't.
have.
Well, go ahead,
I'm
finish your
telling-
point. No, you haven't.
I'm telling you right now, Derrick Henry will not be a consistent fantasy asset. I'm telling you right now, he will not be a consistent, and that's what you're looking for. I'm not talking about
Today is
I'm not wait a minute.
316.
Let me
I'm
finish.
just marking it down. Today's 316 for everybody.
Yes, 316. And I'm telling you right now, Derrick Henry will not be a consistent fantasy option. He may have his time every now and then, but he won't be consistent. And I know what's going to happen. The first time Derrick Henry has a really good day, I'm going to hear it. But I won't hear it when he the majority of the weeks he does not. And that's what I'm saying.
So
Derrick
what's going to happen is this: the game
wait a
that the
minute, can I
offensive
finish?
coordinator decides to only run Derrick Henry 3 times, like the championship game.
Hey, look,
no. Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying before we jump down.
Can I
down
finish
the rabbit hole.
first? Can I finish first?
When
Let's go.
the offensive coordinator doesn't call run plays, that's when Jerry's going to say, "See,
Let me
it
put it this
never
way.
fails."
There's a reason. There's a reason if he's not included in the offense. There will be a reason why, and you refuse to believe that, but that's okay. What I'm saying is he will not be a consistent option in fantasy or a real life. For the
In real
season.
life or in fantasy?
Well, I mean, let me put it this way.
Okay.
If he gets 50 yards and no touchdowns and 2 catches, is that a consistent thing? 50 yards and 2 catches. And that's possible with Derrick Henry.
So again, I need to understand, are you saying that he's not going to be impactful in real life and he's not going to be impactful in fantasy? That's my question.
Let me say this.
Oh my God, it's just a yes or no.
You asked me a question. Can I answer it the way I want to, not the way you want
No, because I'm asking for a yes or no answer.
What's the question? And I'll see if I can phrase it as a yes or no. Because I'm being asked.
Are you saying this is exactly the question?
Okay.
Are you saying Derrick Henry will not be impactful? Because you started to say this earlier. Are you saying Derrick Henry will not be impactful in real life football as well as fantasy football? That's a yes or no.
Yes. I'm saying he will not be impactful. Yes.
In either, okay.
Consent. I premise this, but as I said before, consistently. Yes, he will not be impactful consistently.
Okay. So you're pressing by saying consistently. And
yes.
I will not harp on you for using the term consistently. However, the only reason why is because I just used the example of what happens when the offensive coordinator calls 5 run plays all game and throws the ball 40 times when they don't need to do that.
There's a reason
because it's happened. What I will say to your comment, as long as the Ravens,
wait a minute.
No, you preface it with consistently. Preface it with consistently.
But you're trying to say,
and what I'm saying is, as long as the Ravens run him 15 times a game at least, or he touches the ball 15 times a game, he will have an impact real life and in fantasy.
And I'm
at least 15 times a game.
And I'm going to say this. If the game plan includes them or not. And there's a reason. Wait a minute. Come on, man.
I just sighed because I'm drinking my lemonade.
Yeah. If
lemonade,
if the game plan doesn't include Derrick Henry, oh well. There's a reason why it wouldn't include Derrick Henry. for that particular game plan.
Okay, so what reason do you have? Because this is taking us off
Hey,
schedule.
I'm not.
I'm asking you. You're saying there's a reason why, and what would that reason be?
I have no idea. The offensive coordinator calls the plays.
I understand that, but in your opinion, since you made the comment that the offense won't have
game script,
I got it. What game script do you foresee the Ravens having where he's not? I'm
going to tell you. Just, I mean, you're trying, but that's okay.
I'm asking a question.
Yeah, come on. Stop the innocent stuff with me, man. Come on, stop.
There is no innocent stuff. I asked the question. You made a comment, and I need you to elaborate on that comment.
Game script. And when I'm saying what happens is this: Baltimore trailing does not run the ball more often than if they're up ahead. So if they're ahead, they're going to run the ball more. If they're not, if they're trailing, they're going to try to throw the ball more, which does not include Derrick Henry. Game script. That's what I'm talking about. So come on, man. Stop.
So here's where I disagree with you. Baltimore is rarely trailing in a game where they abandon the run.
Okay.
Rarely. I mean, rarely. But okay. I can understand and can agree that when it comes to passing, Henry most likely will not be the back in there. Probably J.K. Dobbins if he can stay healthy, or that Mitchell kid that came on before he busted up his leg. He might not even be back until late in the season with his injury.
Over an 18-week season, he will not be a consistent player. Over an 18-week season.
Every player isn't consistent over 18 weeks. You've got quarterbacks, top line quarterbacks, Kirk Cousins, Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen, even the best fantasy player the last couple of years, Christian McCaffrey. Was he consistent in getting a touchdown a game? Yeah, but there were times where he only touched the ball like 10 times because he got hurt. But within those times, he got one touchdown. I mean, there are plenty of players offensively and defensively.
Now you're making excuses.
No, when you say consistent over 18 weeks, there aren't many NFL players, very, very few, very, very few, that are fully consistent all 18 weeks or 17 weeks of their regular season.
Well, that's what people are projecting. If he's the king, he's supposed to be consistent over a full workload, which
he will be. He will be. But again, you have a problem with Derrick Henry. Your bias.
Let me stop this.
Because you do.
Let me put a halt to this right now. Now.
Who are you yelling at? Who are you yelling at?
I'm yelling.
No, you're not yelling.
You do this all the time, man. I'm getting aggravated.
You're putting down Derrick Henry. You putting him down, I disagree with you. So you get an attitude. All the time. Don't get an attitude because I disagree with you.
Wait a minute.
That's all I'm disagreeing with.
You keep telling me I'm a hater on a certain player, and that's not. I'm just giving you my opinion.
And every time you talk about him, and other players, it's always negative. It's never
no.
This, that, and the third.
So you're wrong. You're wrong.
No, I'm not wrong. It's okay. I feel like it's coaching games.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
And what I said was they run the ball, and if he gets the ball 15 times a game, he'll be consistent, real life and in fantasy. You're saying no. I disagree with that. You're saying that he can't be consistent 18 weeks. And all I said was there aren't many people in the NFL that are consistent 18 weeks. And then you're like, no, now you're trying to. And I'm like, no, you don't like the fact that you're not right.
Let me
you're not right. And all I'm doing is giving you a counter.
Let me explain this. I've talked about running backs before. I
Henry's a
understand.
dude,
A lot of people think Henry's a dude. Okay, if he was the dude, he would still be in Tennessee.
Oh, geez.
Now he's not. He's in Baltimore. Okay, there's a lot of dudes that were running backs in new places. Okay. I don't think Derrick Henry at 30 years old, he's one of the oldest running backs that moved from one team to the other, is going to be that dude. He was that dude years back, but he hasn't been that dude here of late.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Yeah, he has. Listen, you even said it. You even said it 3 years ago.
That's 3 years ago.
Will you see? Listen to what I'm saying before you get all animated.
Okay.
3 years ago, when he rushed for 1,900 yards, whatever it was, you said he's going to regress. He's not going to hit his 12. I mean, he's not going to hit that type of number. I was like, okay, yeah, but he can get 1,000. He can get 1,100, something like that.
He got 900. He got 900
last year. And I said 3 years ago when he got his 18, and you said he's going to regress. I mean, that was a no-brainer. Nobody's keeping up 1,800 yards at the running back position the way they run him. So that's not a brilliant statement. It was just a statement that he could not maintain 1,800 yards, which I understand, and most people can understand.
Wait a minute.
But when you say that he's washed after that, because that's what you kept saying the last couple years, the last 2 years, and you said it a few minutes ago, that he's washed, he's done, he's not the king. I mean, after you do 1,800 yards and you get 1,100, and then last year you get 900.
No.
Last year he got 900. Year before he got 1,100. I think it's 11 or 12, something like that. That's still a good time. That's still good yardage.
Wait a minute. When he got 1,800 yards, we made a wager the following year that you said he would get 1,600. I said no, he won't, and I told you that year he was
again, like I said, you were right about that. However, you said the man was washed. Again, he didn't maintain 1,800. How many running backs can maintain that? That's the question.
That was 3 years ago, and I told you the following year.
Oh my God, guy!
The following year, he will regress.
Okay, yes, you were right. Okay. I said. Didn't I say you were right about the 1,800 yards? I said that he wasn't going to maintain that, right? I made the bet. I lost the bet because I felt he still had a little bit more in him to get close to 18, maybe not 18, 16. I think he got 11 or 12 before he got hurt.
He got 900.
Before he got hurt, I thought he was over 1,000 because he was on a pace in it was in like 12 games. He
got 900.
Okay, whatever it was. But he got hurt and he didn't finish the season. But he was on pace to make over 1,000 yards.
Doesn't make a difference.
Now, again, it doesn't matter. The point is he had it in him had he not gotten hurt. I know he didn't get it. It's a fact. We know that. Last year, he got a really big timeshare, which I told you that Tajay Spears was going to do. And you were like, well, Tajay Spears, he ain't got no ACLs. He ain't got nothing. He not going to be effective. He ain't going to be this. But yet he was. Now, that impacted what they were going to do with Derrick Henry. When Tennessee needed to throw the ball, they took him out. Yes, got it. Tajay Spears is now in a timeshare with Tony Pollard.
Okay.
Understand. Okay. Yes.
Okay.
But again, that does not mean that Derrick Henry is washed like you keep talking about. Like he's not this. Everybody keeps thinking he's the king. He's just that in the third. You're not. You always got to think the negative instead of the.
I don't think the negative. I think reality here. I don't think the negative because I've said players that I've talked about players in a negative light, and I've
all the time.
Wait a minute, and I've also talked about those same players in a positive light when I see something positive from them. So you can't say I talked about Baker, and I've also talked about Kyler Murray in a negative light, and I've also talked about them in a positive light.
Nope. What you've done is when Baker, you even said last year, it's a fluke. Baker's not that good. Baker's Menzel. The only time I say anything good about Kyler was when he came back and he saw the interview, and that was cool. But prior to that, Baker's a Smurf. Baker's a Munchkin. Baker's is that. I mean, not Baker.
He hasn't been.
Wait a minute.
Oh
I'm trying to tell you.
God.
I'm trying to show you
I'm
what
not-
you did.
I'm-
You
I'm
made
not-
one good comment.
I'm not.
One good comment
I'm-
to 20 negative. That's my point.
Because I
One
saw,
good- and you don't
because I
even.
saw 20
You
negatives.
never,
I
only
saw
time you say
20
anything
negatives.
positive about Baker is that 1 year after you dogged him out coming out, and then he took Cleveland to the playoffs.
Just
And
listen.
immediately after that, you were like, well, Baker's some trash. Baker's this, Baker's that. And then last year,
because he played like that.
Jerry,
That's what I'm saying.
Jerry, what I'm trying, listen, you're failing to follow what I'm saying. You said one good thing, one Kyler, one for Baker. Everything else
Wait a minute. Whoa,
has been trashing
Whoa.
them.
Because
Everything else has been trashing them.
that's because they've been playing.
Even last year.
Like that.
Even last year when Baker did really, really well, it's a fluke. He's not any good. He's this, that, and third. And I'm
I
like,
never said that. I never said that. What?
oh
I
my
said
God.
Baker is
Okay.
playing.
You and Tony making them comments about Baker. I guess I imagined them. The audience imagined them. I guess they never happened.
Let me put it this way.
All right. Okay.
Let me put it this way. When I see something good, I'm going to talk about it. When I see something bad, I'm going to talk about it.
You see more bad than good.
I can't help that.
You see more bad than good. You definitely do. And that's my point about it.
There was a lot of bad play.
That's when I say dog out Derrick Henry for no reason other than the fact that he's an older. And I get what you're saying. He's been I'm not going to say abused, but he's been used a lot. And at 30 years old, 6'2", 245, 250 pounds, it's taking a toll. I get that. But for what they need him for, if Gus Edwards can get 18 touchdowns last year in that system, and I don't know how tall he is. I know he's not 250 or 245. And Derrick Henry is. Instead of saying, I mean, you have your opinion. That is your opinion. That is fine. You can have your opinion. However, instead of just putting him down and saying, well, watch, he's not going to be consistent. He's not this. He's not that. Let's say, okay, well, if they use him correctly, he could be. I mean, there are plenty of ways to not make it seem like the person that you're talking about is terrible or is done for.
I never said he was done for. I said he will not be a consistent.
You said that
player.
in the past. You said that in the past. In this conversation, you didn't say that in this conversation. What you said was he's not going to be consistent. And you also said he's not going to be good in regular or in fantasy.
He's not going to be consistent. I said that.
I know you said that. That's what I'm saying. And if you're saying he's not going to be good in regular football, you know, that's pretty much calling him garbage because.
Oh, no. Wait, don't put words in my mouth. I just said he
okay,
was
so what's not good?
I told he. I
no,
said
no. Remember, I asked you a question. I said, is he going to be good?
I made
regular season.
Specific,
real football.
I gave you specific numbers. 50 yards and 2 catches is not good.
I didn't say no. I understand you said 50 yards and 2 catches ain't good. I asked the question. I asked you a yes or no question. Was he going? Good. Were you saying? I asked you. Were you saying the man was not going to be good in real football and in fantasy?
I said he's not going to be consistent.
Yes.
I said he's not going to be consistent. That's what I said.
And then I came back and said I wanted to be specific because I didn't need a consistency. Remember, I said yes or no, and you said yes. That's what I'm saying, and he's not going to be consistent.
That's exactly what I said. That's exactly what I said.
I know that's exactly what you said. So when I asked you, were you saying the man was not going to be good in regular football and in fantasy? You said yes. And then as a caveat, you added he will not be consistent.
That's
but
exactly
the question,
right.
But the question didn't ask you for a caveat. The question asked were you saying was he going to be good in regular and in fantasy?
But you were trying to pigeonhole that answer. And I'm not going to let you do that.
It wasn't pigeonholing you. I told you it's a yes or no answer. That's all I said. I said it's not a qualifying. If it
can't be
a qualifying answer, a qualifying answer would be an open-ended question. That was not open-ended. That was a closed-ended question. Yes or no.
Well, and then you ask me what's not good. Oh, I told you. What's
Okay, exactly. But the closed-ended question, when I asked to clarify what you were saying, you answer in the affirmative that you believe he is not going to be good in regular football or good in fantasy. Those were the two things I asked.
Yep, that's exactly
and
what
you
I
said. Yes, you don't.
That's exactly what I said.
Okay.
But what? It's an 18-game season. He can have a good week one week. He can have a bad week the next week. It's an 18 week.
And I said that happens to everyone. That you can label everyone that way, and then say, well, they're not consistent. Because one week, let's see. Nick Chubb can run for 200 yards, and the next week he can run for 70.
Yep, that's right.
So, that's inconsistent, but that doesn't mean he's not he's not a good player or a good fantasy player. Overall, it just means he's not going to be able to maintain 200 yards. Consistency means maintaining, right? So if you're saying that he can't maintain a good season, which is why I said real football and fantasy, and you said in the affirmative that yes, he cannot do that.
He cannot do that. He cannot do
maintain. And I all I did was disagree with you. And you like to, and I'm like, dude, you say I can't deal with being wrong. You can't deal with somebody having a different opinion.
You just told me you hating on everybody.
You are. I just mentioned everybody you hated on. You've only said one good thing about Kyler, one good thing about Baker, and
you're wrong, but that's all right. That's all right.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
That's all right. That's all right.
Yeah, okay. Because I'm right. But moving on. Moving on.
Let me put it this way, people.
Moving on.
FSP's got to be right. Any kind of way you want it, he's got to be right. So that's okay. That's all right. I understand the young buck. He's got to be right. No problem.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am trying my best to understand.
Yep.
That generation. I mean, I'm gonna be in that generation at some point in my life, but that generation right there, boy.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
It's that generation right there, man.
Yeah, okay.
The king is well in Baltimore. I was going to get into the point, and he probably has an excuse. I don't know what Jerry Jones' excuse is, but when Henry was asked, did he hear from the Cowboys? He said, not at all. And this was supposed to be the best move and the biggest move and probably the only move the Cowboys needed to make. They got rid of Tony Pollard. They only have Deuce Vaughn, who I like, but he's a small guy, very small guy, power back guy. We'll see how he works out, but you have no one at running back on your roster in a draft that does not have that many good running backs in it. Now, the follow-up question to Henry when mentioned or when asked that was, why do you think that was? He says, I don't know. They just never called me.
Didn't fit him. He wasn't a good fit for him. He wasn't a good fit. Derrick Henry was not a good fit for the Dallas Cowboys.
Not Mike McCarthy's system. I can agree with that. But McCarthy doesn't like running the ball, even though he says he's going to run the ball. But if this is the player or the type of player fans and ownership have said they need, why not do the 2-year deal? It's not like he got paid a lot of money. They've definitely got the money. Leighton Vander Esch has been cut. Michael Gallup has been cut. There's a lot of space for the type of player and the player they wanted. They got rid of Tyron Smith, another large contract. Biotish, another large contract, came to Washington. Why not grab the king? And I think what you said is accurate. It's a fit thing. But do you think the Cowboys are going to regret it?
Nope.
Because they don't have a real running back, a real number one running back on their roster right now.
I guarantee this. I would put the house money on this. That they're going and looking at a player or players in the draft.
Oh, of course.
They're looking for players in the draft. So, on a rookie contract, not right now, but everybody, including the media, including a lot of people, thought they were going after Derrick Henry, or Derrick Henry would be a good fit. I didn't think Derrick Henry was a good fit for what they wanted to do in Dallas. Quite naturally, after that fact, and quite naturally, it's hindsight is 2020. You know that they're more than likely going to draft a running back. That's a no-brainer. So it is what it is. But they're going to draft a running back. And they got their sights on a running back or running backs, plural, that they're going to be pulling into the Dallas Cowboys and fit what they like to do. So
with that, I look at what Washington did. Washington signed Austin Eckler, who I love, but I don't think that was the best thing for them to do with the young Brandon Robinson still on the roster as the future. Now, they let go of Antonio Gibson, who went to the Patriots. So they also have a young Rodriguez kid who was the Auburn running back 2 years ago and came in, did really well for Washington last year. They also traded Sam Howell to Seattle. Big mistake with getting Marcus Mariota, but it is what it is. That tells me Jalen Daniels is going to be the quarterback they choose if Caleb Williams is already taken. But Austin Eckler is an intriguing pick to me, or pickup, only because he still has a little bit of juice. I don't think he has the juice, but I think he has enough juice to be an impactful player. So, yet again, another player that Jerry Taylor liked to poo-poo left and right.
And
was wrong about it.
No, what? Wrong about Austin Eckler last year? Wrong about Austin Eckler last year?
Last year, but he was not Mr. Brittle, that your favorite term for him. He was also, leading fantasy running, or one of the top fantasy running backs like the last 3 years. So when you say you were wrong, yeah, you were. You were wrong.
Like I said, last year I said he was going to regress. He's an older back, and he's not going to get as many touches as he got in the prior years because of the offensive coordinator.
We both agree with that. We both agree Kellen Moore was a terrible offensive fit.
Really?
We both agree Kellen Moore was terrible for what they were going to do.
No. As I saw it, you and Q thought that Austin Eckler was going to be an outstanding.
No.
Okay.
I can easily pull up the AFC West predictions, mainly because I said if we look at what they did with Tony Pollard, he could do good things, but he won't because I don't like old boy's offensive system. So neither you or myself,
in my opinion,
Austin
Eckler was better than Tony Pollard, and they still didn't use him. That's the reason why I said that, because I didn't think Austin Eckler, being his age, his contract, and his offensive coordinator, was going to not be what people thought Austin Eckler was going to be. That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying. And
I don't know
think
who it's going to be.
let me put it this way. Let me put it also this. Austin Eckler going to the Washington Commanders is awful. Absolutely horrible. Horrible.
Why?
Horrible. He's holding on. That move is just a hold on to one more time in the league. I mean, you're going to see maybe a half a dozen games that Austin Eckler, maybe a half a dozen games that Austin Eckler is counts. Maybe. Because you saw what happened with both those running backs, Antonio Gibson, who's a pass catching running back, just like Austin Eckler, and Brian Robinson. What do you think is going to happen this time with Dan Quinn? And
see what they did with Antonio Gibson last. Well, you're not a Commanders fan, so I don't expect you to know what they did with them. Under Bieniemy's system, Kingsbury's system is different, but pass receiving running back is paramount. Have you not looked at what happened with Connor when he was in Arizona? How he was used?
That's still Cliff Kingsbury's not there anymore, and Connor's being used in the passing game.
No, I'm saying when he was there, he was used in the passing game when he was there. In fact, he led the league in touchdowns for a period of time a couple years ago.
So you telling me telling me Austin Eckler is going to be that relevant?
I'm saying is Austin Eckler. You asked a question. I'm answering the question. You said I'm answering the question. Austin Eckler will be used. Oh, okay. You didn't finish the question. There's more to a question. Go ahead.
Yes. Are you telling me Austin Eckler is going to be fantasy relevant in this offense on a consistent basis the whole year? Yes or no?
Yes. And
okay,
he might not be the starter, but he will have an impact on this team, the way he will be used. Wow. The question is, will Washington have a signal caller that can execute the game plan? Because Eckler, Wagner, those, in my opinion, are going to be the leadership on both sides of the ball the team lacks. So Bobby Wagner, starting middle linebacker, still better than any linebacker we had and currently have. Diagnosis, plays, even not faster, at about the same rate he did when he was, a big baller. He can galvanize that defense with Lufu and Chin. Defense looks really good, really good. Offensive side of the ball, you need a leader. Right now, Terry McLaurin is the elder statesman on the offensive side of the ball. You bring in Austin Eckler, who can be impactful as well as a solid leader. You have a good chance of turning things around in 1 year. Probably not, because I believe him, Wagner, I don't like the Mariota signing, but Mariota, they're all on like 2-year deals that will probably not be carried over for a second year. So they're there to set the stage, so to speak. Eckler is there as a stopgap, like you said, holding on to show that he can still be valuable to another NFL team. But I believe he's turning 32, or he's going to turn 33 this year, something like that.
No, I think he's not. I think he's going to be 29, 30, if I'm not mistaken. I know he's around there. I don't think he's older or as old as Derrick Henry.
Oh, Keenan Allen is the 33-year-old. You're right. That you said was one of the biggest things, which was your opinion. I don't think so, but it was a big trade, but I don't think a 33-year-old, no, ain't gonna happen, especially when you don't know who the quarterback is. But Eckler has the ability to lead, right? On the court, he'll show the impact, not the court, I'm looking at basketball. On the field, he'll have impact because he might not be the short yardage guy. He might be the between the 20s guy. And sprinkling in Brandon Robinson here and there. And Brandon Robinson is definitely going to be short yardage as well as third down, not third down back, maybe first down back. But I definitely see Austin Eckler being that third down back. And in that system, he can be very, very impactful if the ball is given to him. Zach Ertz also knows the system, also can be impactful. Also a guy you doubted. But we're not going to go down that road. I'm just saying these are players that can have an impact even at their older age. But the biggest impact is my number one guy that I said was the focal point for the fantasy football situation as well as the draft. With Kirk Cousins signing with Atlanta, that shook the whole board up. Shook the whole board up. After that, what happened? Mac Jones, and this is crazy, Mac Jones gets traded for a 6th-round pick from New England. And New England has the number 3 pick overall. He's a backup. He's a backup. Then what happens? Yesterday, Kenny Pickett, instead of competing with Russ, Kenny Pickett gets traded to Philly to be Jalen Hurts' backup. So 2 teams, one lower than the other, need quarterbacks for the future. One sits at 3, the other sits, I can't remember Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh sits like in the middle, I believe. Here's where we get into that Michael Penix comment you made. I truly believe after all these moves and nowhere to go with, well, Minnesota, if they choose to do so, which I think they should. And guess who else said that Fields should go to Minnesota? Justin Jefferson. That's what he said. When asked who does he think Minnesota should have as their quarterback since they can't have Kirk? And he says Justin Fields would be great because it'll be such a dynamic blah, 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 blah. Is it likely to happen? Probably not, but I could see it because that's the only place he's needed.
Well, I kind of doubt that.
With that, wait a minute. With that, if they don't trade him, I don't believe they get Caleb Williams. I believe they get Alt from Notre Dame, number 1 overall pick, left tackle, head and shoulders above everybody else. The second best one is the kid out of Washington State, which I love too, but Alt is game ready. And the reason why I say that is because you don't go out and fix your defense the way Chicago did last year. Trade for Keenan Allen. Trade for Moore. Trade for Keenan Allen. Sign Gerald Everett and DeAndre Swift at running back, and spend over $230 million already, and go get a rookie. I believe they're keeping Fields, which changes the entire outlook of where the quarterbacks go. I believe if Chicago, because I got two thoughts here. Keep what you're about to say for a second, because I'm gonna give my two thoughts. I believe if they keep Fields, Washington gets Williams, Patriots get Daniels, then in the 4 spot, Arizona drops down so that either Denver, the Raiders, or somebody else can come up and get Drake May. At number 5, I believe it's the Chargers. Chargers, what did they just do? They got rid of both of their wide receivers, right? They don't need a quarterback. There isn't a good running back. They get a Donzier from Washington State at receiver. Then it becomes, okay. Bottom line is, there's an opportunity for 4 to 5 quarterbacks to be taken in the top 10, 5 in the first round, if that scenario happens. I believe if Chicago does get Caleb Williams, there will be 5 quarterbacks taken in the first round. I believe it's going to be Williams, Daniels, May, Penix, and some people are on McCarthy, but I think Bo Nix. I think it'll be Bo Nix over McCarthy. The 5 quarterbacks taken in the draft in the first round. Those are the two thoughts I had. Go ahead, JT.
Well, the only caveat I'm going to put in this, in the unknown, which I think this team is setting itself up to move way up in the draft, is Minnesota.
Yes, the two draft picks. Exactly.
Minnesota has 13 and number 23 in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
11, whatever it is. 11, 13, whatever it is, and 23. They have 23, which they made a trade with the Texans to get the 23rd pick in the first round, and they have either 11 or 13 of their own. So they have 2 picks. They have Sam Darnold. That means to me that they're making plans to move up in the draft to grab one of the top quarterbacks.
Yep.
Okay. And with that offense, I can see Minnesota moving up, way up to get whoever they want as a quarterback. And also getting a second or third round, probably third round, maybe late second, a running back. Because Aaron Jones, who they picked up, is an older running back with a lot of tread on the tire. Okay? A lot of tread on the tire. He's an older back with a lot of tread on the tire. He only started a 1-year contract, if I'm not mistaken. So they're going to get, and they got rid of, quite naturally, got rid of last year, Dalvin Cook, and they got rid of this year, Alexander Madison. So there's only Ty Chandler and Aaron Jones. So I can envision them picking up a rookie running back also. So, but the point I'm making, 11 and 23 is their first round picks. They're moving up to grab a quarterback.
Who do you have them trading with and targeting? Because you got to remember, above them are 2 other teams that want quarterbacks too. So who are they targeting?
I'm thinking this, okay, and I'm thinking that they move to at least 3. It could be higher, but at least 3, because they can take those 2 picks and bundle them with another pick that they have later, a 3rd or 4th round pick, because I think they definitely want their 2nd round pick this year, and move up to 3 and grab a quarterback. I don't know if it's Drake May. I don't know if it's J.J. McCarthy. I don't know if it's Jaden Daniels. All makes it makes a difference. But they want to move up. And it's key. This is going to be key. And I think they're going to wait and see who's taken first before they make their move. I think that's what's going to happen. Who's taken first before they make their move?
So go ahead.
Because I don't think they have the draft capital. Who knows what package they put together to try to get up high.
They've got Justin Jefferson, who doesn't want to be there. That's a possibility in any trade deal.
Well, let me put it this way. I think if a certain quarterback that went to the same school as Justin Jefferson was in the mix for the Minnesota Vikings to get him, I think Justin Jefferson would be more than happy to go that route. So if they were able to get Jaden Daniels somehow by moving up in the draft with a package of picks, I think that would be probably a good move.
So, okay. With your idea, which I believe you're on to something, I think they are targeting the number 1 overall pick. And here's why. The Bears have number 9 as well. So if you give the Bears 11 and 23 and a second or third this year and a first next year, again, this goes into why they haven't moved Justin Fields yet and why they're putting all these pieces around Justin Fields. I think they could pull it off. If Minnesota, because remember, they got Jordan Addison to step up and take over the number 1 job if JJ goes away. You still got the good tight end there.
Well, let me ask you a question real quick. Jaden,
go ahead.
Jordan Addison, where's he from?
Was he LSU? Not sure.
USC.
Oh, USC. Okay. Well,
Okay.
that's fine.
So
I don't care.
One of those 2 receivers are going to be happy if they move up in the draft and either get Jaden Daniels or Caleb Williams.
True statement. So if they move up to first and they give those those 2 number 1s, Chicago has 3 first-round draft picks, 2 in the top 12 or top 11. Plus, if they throw in some extra players or extra picks, maybe they try to get JJ. I don't know, but you get JJ, Allen, and more, and Swift at running back, and Herbert at running back. Justin Fields, you can't fail. You cannot fail. But the Patriots will probably be the landing spot because I believe Jared Mayo is comfortable with Jacoby Brissett at quarterback for the year. And if you draft somebody number 3 overall, that means that person's coming in and taking the job. Unless you've got a strong quarterback that's on the end of their contract. You gave Sam Darnold a 1-year deal, $10 million. Okay. Sam Darnold is not the guy. And remember, this is all because Kirk Cousins signed with Atlanta and Russell Wilson signed with Pittsburgh. Think about the madness here, ladies and gentlemen. it caused, I'm not going to say it caused, but
Domino.
two former first round picks just a couple years ago are now backups in their rookie contract. And you have, in my opinion, at least 5 first round worthy quarterbacks. 5. Ooh-wee. Ooh-wee. So you asked about Michael Penix. I believe Michael Penix will be drafted in the first round by either Denver, the Raiders, and if Minnesota is smart, Minnesota. If they stay at number 11. If they package those 2 first rounders and move up to number 1, number 2, or number 3. But see, this also puts Marvin Harrison Jr. with the Chargers and Herbert. If you think about it, Herbert loses Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. But he gets a bigger, better version of his, well, not of his, but of a legend, Marvin Harrison, in his son on a rookie contract for 5 years at minimum. Do you think this is possible with all this movement, Mr. Taylor?
Speaking of movement, all-pro wide receiver Stephon Diggs seems to be saying goodbye to Buffalo, that he's being traded. He changed his bio to the photo of him waving and said, "Ready for whatever."
So speculation as opposed to something concrete.
Well, we'll see. Stephon Diggs trade rumor with the Cowboys.
To be with his brother? Nah, man. It's not enough money. Not enough money. They still got to pay CD. And they got to pay Micah Parsons. That would be, well, you know what? Jerry, I'll say this. If that were to happen, that would make sense as to why they didn't go after Derrick Henry and they let go of so many players and the money. And the money they freed up. That, I mean, it may have some legs, but people have been trying to get him out of Buffalo ever since the yelling incidents. You notice I said plural, incidents on the sideline. I don't know. That would be an interesting move. But let's say he doesn't go to Dallas. Where do you see him landing?
Ooh. Oh.
Because I mean, that would be a big move.
Let me think.
I mean,
How about the Arizona Cardinals?
that's exactly what I was about to say. But go ahead. Go ahead.
Arizona Cardinals. How about the Chargers? They just got rid of the number 1 wide receiver, and he would fit right into that passing scheme. I don't know how he would get along with Harbaugh, but I think he would fit with what they want to do. I'm trying to think of what else there would be.
Okay. Well, why? I'm gonna give you something else to think about. What compensation is Stephon Diggs worth at this point in his career?
Ooh. What did he get last season? 14 mil? a year? Is that what he
No,
got?
no. Not him getting paid. I mean, what would a team give up to get him?
Ooh.
Because he's a longer, older receiver who has some problems apparently in the locker room. And I guarantee you, he don't want to get traded to somebody that's not going to want to be a contender.
Well, I'm going to throw this crazy out here. I'm going to throw this crazy one out here. How about a second and a fourth going to Baltimore?
Ooh, that would be nasty.
Yes.
But I don't think he'll get a second. I think he's a third rounder at this point.
I was thinking second or third, but I just put second out there just to spice
No, I got
it up.
you. I think he's more of a third because of his age.
Okay.
Not because of his talent, but because of his age. And his ability is up and down, but some of that is not his thing. But yeah, I got you. What other news you're looking at? Because I see you're like this, scouring the internet.
No, I just scout that pop-up came up and I just said, oh, let me just look at the headlines and see if that's legit or not. And I just wanted to put that out there.
Okay.
I just wanted to put that out there. Just
so what free agent signings or trades made you go, I got a few of them outside of Austin Eckler, because we already talked about that.
I shook my head when Austin Eckler. The immediate thing I thought about him, and he's trying to hold on. That's the immediate thing I said. He's trying to hold.
That's what I said outside of Austin Eckler, because you already said how you feel about that. But outside of that move, what are the surprises? I mean, mine. If you don't know off the break, go ahead.
I do know. I do know because my thing is running backs and Saquon Barkley going to a division rival is like, whoa, that came out of nowhere. I thought he was going to the AFC. I thought he was going to
what Tiki Barber said.
Yeah,
he pulled a Jerry. You're dead to me.
Yeah. I don't think too much Tiki Barber. He's full. You know what? So Tiki Barber, what he says don't mean a hill of beans to me. So I mean, he makes a comment. He thinks he's got some clout. He ain't got no clout. He was an average back in the Giants. Okay, he was an average back in the Giants, and had maybe 1 or 2 good years. That's about it. He was an average back. He had issues. He had fumbling issues that he got corrected, and he was an average back. But he wasn't all that. He wasn't even close to Saquon, so he can't even speak on it, in my opinion. Never have been and never will be a Tiki Barber fan. Never have and never will be. Rondé, I got a lot of respect for it because he's almost the exact opposite of his brother. Very humble. To me, he seems very humble, and he's a better player. So,
but Saquon and who else?
Saquon and let me see. You know what surprised me? And I thought it was an extremely bad move. Two surprises. Extremely bad move. DeAndre Swift going to Chicago and Tony Pollard going to the Titans.
Yeah,
I'm
that
like,
was my number 2.
I mean, come on, man. Really? Come on. Really? So, I mean, Chicago believes, just like I do believe the Titans believe, it's going to be a committee. You never know whose week is going to be. And Deontay Foreman, I don't know if he's still there or not. You got Khalil Herbert and you got Roschon Johnson. And Roschon Johnson be the best of those other two, in my opinion. Now you got DeAndre Swift. Who the heck is the number one? There is no number one. There's 1A, 1B, 1C, 1D. Who the heck? That was a horrible move. I would never have gone to Chicago, especially with the coaching staff, in my opinion, up in the air. I mean, I know they're going to be there this year, but how long? I know they made some moves. Okay. But is the coaching staff going to screw that up, or are they going to make the best of it? Let me put it that way. Who's going to be the quarterback? Is it going to be a rookie? How much am I going to get used? Come on. And Tony Pollard going to the Titans? Really? That spells to me committee written all over it. Come on.
I agree with that. So Tony Pollard was one of mine. But let me get to my number one first. My number one was Smith going to the Jets. I understand the need. However, the man hasn't played more than 12 games since 2016. It's 8 years, man. 8 years.
Okay.
So
maybe
and
change
he's 33. He's 33. I get his ability. Don't get me wrong. But that made me say, y'all can't just draft a left tackle or develop one. Tony Pollard was my number two because I said, when I heard it, Tajay Spears is Tony Pollard already. So why are you going to have two of the same backs?
Yeah. Yeah. And
I was like, okay, well, they're going to throw the ball. I get it. Because Calvin Ridley gets 52 million. I mean, 90 something million, 50 of it guaranteed. And you got him, Hopkins, and you have two receiving backs and not a power back. So that made me say, And the fact that the Cowboys didn't sign anybody except for Eric Kendrick, who was supposed to be going to San Francisco, but changed his mind, went to Dallas. I had to say, all right, he's a very good field general. They're either going to just keep Micah Parsons as a rusher, or they're going to do something different with him because Micah sometimes plays the Mike, middle linebacker. Kendricks in man coverage is a liability, but in zone and in run, he's pretty damn good. Even at his age. You just got some type of announcement. What type of announcement did you just get?
It doesn't have anything to do with football.
Oh, okay. All right. Baseball? Because I know you never did.
Basketball.
Oh, okay. I know you never did give me the baseball league you got into because I was trying to get in there. But anyway, my neck is killing me. Let's transition here from those that we like, those we dislike, and how do we foresee this draft going with all this movement? I mean, this has been a lot of movement in 1 week. The tamper-free portion, players being told they're going to be released. Deontay Johnson getting traded to the Panthers. The Panthers trying to get who's my man in Cincinnati? T. Higgins. It's a lot going on, man. Talk to me.
What do you need to know? What do you need? What do you need to know?
We're just talking about the different moves and stuff like that.
I mean, Deontay Johnson. I mean, that's horrible. Horrible in my opinion. Why?
Yeah, he's a good possession receiver.
Excuse me?
I think he's a good possession receiver. He can get touchdowns as well if they throw him to him, but he's good hands.
Oh, I know he has good hands, but I think that team and the quarterback, they're years away from being even relevant. And how consistent will Deontay Johnson be with that quarterback and our offensive line? That's the problem I have. Deontay Johnson is a field stretcher. He can stretch the field.
Yeah.
His big asset is stretching the field, and that means when you have to stretch the field, you have to give time to the quarterback, and that means the offensive line has to hold the defense. Their offensive line stinks. Bryce Young got, if I'm not mistaken, was the most sacked quarterback in the NFL.
He was.
Okay, so you get a wide receiver, a capable, good wide receiver. I'm not doubting that, but he's a field stretcher. He can stretch the field with a young quarterback that didn't have a good showing with a bad offensive line. You think that offensive line is going to get turned around in a year and the quarterback's going to play that much better? I think it was a bad, that to me, that didn't make any sense to me, because you need offensive line help big time. You need offensive line help first and foremost. Are you going to get that in the draft? Are you going to draft some offensive linemen? Okay. Are they going to be that much good? That good that they'll be able to protect Bryce Young, give him a chance to stretch the field with Deontay Johnson? I don't think so. I think they're years away. I think they needed to concentrate, and maybe they will, on getting protection for the young quarterback. I know you need weapons. Okay, you got weapons. Okay. And that one seemed like an odd one to me, that they want to get rid of Deontay Johnson when you had Russell Wilson, and Russell Wilson can get the ball down the field.
I know.
When I saw that, I said, "You got to be kidding me, really?"
Well, that to me, I thought the move said, okay, well, obviously, we're trying to win here in Carolina, and we got to give Young a target, a reliable target. Thielen is a good receiver. He led them last year in yards and receptions, but he just can't be that one guy. He just can't be that one guy. Johnson is a threat downfield, as well as just give him the ball. He'll touch it. He'll grab it. He'll hold on to it. The offensive line is a problem. I was thinking Tyron Smith would go there as opposed to the Jets, but I get it. Jets probably was more attractive because they got Aaron Rodgers and a decent shot at going to the playoffs and winning a Super Bowl. But the Panthers have also been losing players left and right too. They've been losing players. So they needed something and someone. I just don't think that was the best option for them. Now, with that being said, they've got a lot of money. Buffalo might want to say, here you go, Stephon. We're going to trade you to Carolina.
Ooh, that
would be the receiver he needs.
That would piss him off. Are you kidding me? That would piss him off.
He's not going to go? He's owed a lot of money.
That would piss him off. He would have no shot. Having a shot with a one of the best quarterbacks in the league going to the playoffs, and with a shot to go further into the playoffs, and then going to a second-year quarterback that didn't show too much in the first year, and a team that's in rebuild mode. Come on, man. He would be pissed.
I'm not saying he wouldn't be. I'm just saying I can see it happening. I could see it happening.
Who knows? Who knows? Hey, nothing really surprises me. I mean, nothing in the NFL surprises me. It could be Stephon Diggs, it could be Justin Jefferson, it could be anybody. T. Higgins, he's asking for a trade. I want out. You're gonna tag me? I want out. And
that's where a lot of the rumors came about. A lot of rumors came about because Jamar Chase and JJ were on X saying, "Hey, what about this?" And then Chase was like, "I don't know why people think I can control stuff up here." You give Joe Burrow, JJ, and Chase.
Oh man, that. Come on, stop. That'd be totally unfair.
But who cares if it's unfair? If Cincinnati's willing to do that,
wait a minute,
and Minnesota's willing to do it,
wait a minute,
you can't stop it.
What do you mean? We didn't talk about the elephant in the room.
What elephant in the room?
Hollywood swinging. Marquise Hollywood going to the Kansas City Chiefs.
I was getting there. I was getting there. I just didn't want to give you anything to be happy about.
Oh, baby.
Now, because I was going down my receivers list. That's what I was just doing. And Hollywood to Kansas City with Rashee Rice, Pat Mahomes.
The rich get richer. And
now wait a minute. We're talking about
Kansas City. We're talking about Kansas City.
Wait a minute. I thought a big, tall receiver was going to go. But then when the trade happened or he signed with them, I was like, that's actually perfect. Because he can go down the field if he can catch the ball. But he's what Kadarius Toney and Sky Moore weren't.
Under the radar. Move.
So are you becoming a Kansas City Chiefs fan? That's what I'm hearing.
Let me just tell you, man.
That's what I'm hearing.
I'm seeing these, and I don't know how many people paid attention to this. I paid attention to this because I happened to see it. Under the radar. I told you Mr. Travis Kelce was getting long in the tooth. Under the radar, the Chiefs acquired Irv Smith Jr.
Okay.
That's showing me, okay, they got Irv Smith Jr., who's a very athletic tight end. I'm not calling Travis Kelce, and he's cheap. And I'm not calling him Travis Kelce, but to me, the handwriting is on the wall. It's coming. It's coming.
Irv Smith ain't nowhere near him.
It's coming. I'm
I mean, there were rumors that this was going to be his last year after they won the Super Bowl, but there was also rumors that he was going to ask Taylor Swift to marry him. So go figure. But Marquise to Kansas City is a very big deal, even though it's a little deal. Can he stay healthy? Can he catch the ball?
Oh,
that's the biggest thing.
He's a better pass catcher than MFS.
Oh, hell
way
yeah.
Better. Way better.
Hell
and can get open because Scanlon had issues getting open. And then also when he got open, catching the football. So come on, man.
No. I'm not disagreeing with you.
Yeah.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I honestly think that you got to look at him and say, okay, Lamar didn't feed him enough. Kyler was very good with him, but when Kyler got hurt, they started going to Rondale Moore. Rondale Moore gets traded, for Mac Jones and a 6th-round pick. No, excuse me. I apologize. Mac Jones is the backup in Jacksonville now. But Rondell Moore got traded for what quarterback did Arizona just pick up for Rondell Moore? Can you look that up for me real quick?
Desmond Ritter.
Desmond Ritter. There you go. Desmond Ritter, who I think if you put him in this system that Arizona runs now, and if Kyler flakes out or whatever, I think that because it's more of a system like he ran at University of Cincinnati. You know, the shirt you was wearing a couple of weeks ago. I don't know if you got it on today.
No, I don't have it on.
But it was the same system. I think he could flourish, but he's got to take some risk. He'll have plenty of opportunities if something happens to Kyler again. But a lot of movement.
Rondell Moore is now in Atlanta.
Yes. The
Wow.
number 2 and Darnell Mooney's there too.
Wow.
Darnell Mooney.
They got some
Greg
rubbers,
London.
man. They got a little
I
bit
know
of
that. That's why I said Atlanta, easy win for them. And Kirk Cousins' movement there changed the drive. And that was my question to you earlier that I forgot that I asked. How does that one move impact the draft, in your opinion?
Well, it changes what Atlanta, in my opinion, wants to do. What they want to do with pick 9. They want to concentrate on the offensive line, which they do have a decent offensive line, or do they want to concentrate more on the defense? I think they're probably going to concentrate more on their defense because they've acquired through free agency and trading offensive players, that the pieces that they feel that they needed.
But I'm speaking more so on all the other teams drafting. Kirk Cousins going to Atlanta affects who, what, where, and why. You know, the 5 W's.
Well, quite naturally, the other teams, Kirk Cousins is the best, in my opinion, the best quarterback in that division. You got Baker Mayfield, you got Derek Carr, and you got
Bryce Young.
Bryce Young. Come on, man. I think one of these teams is going to pick up a quarterback. One of these teams is definitely going to draft a quarterback. More than likely, the New Orleans Saints, in my opinion, are probably going to pick up another quarterback because I think Derek Carr is the oldest quarterback besides Kirk Cousins in that division. So I can see them picking up a quarterback. And also probably, I don't know about running back. I think and I think Tampa Bay is probably going to pick up some defensive players because they've lost some defensive players, and I think they need to make up the difference with some rookie defensive players. And the Carolina Panthers need to pick up. I'm thinking Carolina Panthers need to pick up offensive linemen, just like I talked about before. So I think they're going to concentrate on their weaknesses in order to shore up their part of whatever team it is. They're going to.
Okay.
So, I mean, they're going to have to. They're going to have to.
No, I get that. That's wasn't. I was trying to go on an overall viewpoint of how that one move had domino effects for all of the teams, not just the South. But I think you had said something, and I wanted to jump in, and I forgot exactly what it was. My memory. Oh my gosh. Jesus. Running backs, you says, here it is. Here it is.
Okay.
I just want to know how you feel about eating them W's and them crab legs in Baltimore. I mean, in Cleveland. because this was the question I was going to say for the end of the show.
Mhm.
And we can make this end of the show. Why does Cleveland sign Jameis Winston over Joe Flacco? Because you're going to enjoy them W's, eating them crab legs, I think. But that's my question to you. Oh, my God. No, you didn't lick your finger. Go ahead. Answer the question. You're just as awkward as he is, but go ahead.
Jameis wasn't asking for as much money. Flacco was. He wanted to turn his comeback play of the year into a lucrative contract for himself. Okay.
Well, he did. He signed. I forgot who he signed with, but
He signed with the Colts.
yeah, the Colts.
Okay, and we got Jameis. Okay. I mean, got Jameis and DTR. I don't know where Jameis fits into that. He's a direct backup or whatever. This falls into what I think the Cleveland Browns are going to want to do. They're going to want to push the ball down the field. Jameis pushes the ball down the field. So, I mean, he may have thrown a lot of interceptions, unfortunately, but he does push the ball down the field. And I think that's what we're talking about with Ken Dorsey as the OC. And Kevin Stefanski wants to be able to utilize Deshaun Watson in a more effective way in pushing the ball down the field. That's the only thing I can think of.
Okay. I just wanted to throw that out there because I was like, that's probably one of the worst signings of the free agency period because you got a guy that's making $240 or $230 guaranteed.
Okay.
And can't stay healthy.
I'm tasting
and
some wins.
If something does happen to him,
I'm tasting some
you got
wins.
Jameis Winston. Say again.
I'm tasting some wins. I'm tasting some wins.
I heard you. You might want to brush your teeth, but and they cross the middles. They don't. It's not. It's not.
It's a W. It's a W. One way or the other.
I know. It's just one is different than the other. Anyway, there was a little bit more I wanted to get into, but I gotta take this dryer downstairs and install a new dryer. So, with that being said, I want to thank my boy Tori for coming on and giving us some information on his thoughts. I want to thank JT for being JT, starting off the show, not being because we can't see the piece because he had one finger in the. Yeah, move it to your face so we can see it. There you go. Because all we can see is the other one before. Are you about to do the bat dance? The bat dance? Is that what you're about to do? Okay. And of course, we couldn't go a show without JT blowing his top. So I had to blow it back. But what's happening tomorrow on the master plan if you got a show happening at all?
I am going to go over the fantasy relevance of the free agents on the offensive side of the ball, including Derrick Henry.
For the sake of your show, I will probably, not be a part of that portion.
No problem. I ain't got no problem. If you want to show up, you show up. If you don't,
no, I'm saying the Derrick Henry portion.
Okay, whatever.
Because I'm a
you're a lover of Derrick Henry and call him the king. That's all right. I'm a realist, regardless of what people may think, but I'm a realist in what I see on different players and their age in respective positions. Regardless, I'm going to keep it 100% as I see it.
Oh, as you see, there you go. As you see it, that's key. That is key, ladies and gentlemen. Because it ain't 100. But the fantasy relevance
you got a little spotted gray sitting up there?
Huh?
You got a little spotted gray sitting up there?
Really? You want to attack that? You know that hurts. You know that hurts.
No, it don't hurt. I mean,
Yo.
oh, you're so vain. You probably think this show is about you.
Which
You
it
heard
is.
that before?
Yeah, that's a song, and the show is about me. It's
Okay.
my show.
Okay, whatever.
But and it's you're so vain. You probably think the song is about you.
I
But I see how you changed it up
I
just for
changed it
me.
up. Yes,
I know.
Oh,
I see you change it up for me. It's okay. It's all right.
see, you see, people, come on. That's just come on.
That's what. That's what.
Most people, when I made that phrase, they know what I was saying, and I know it's supposed to be song, but I made it show. But you had to go in there and say, it's song, not show. Come on, man, stop. Really? Really? Oh, you can't get that TSA out of you. That's all right, no problem.
I knew he was gonna go there. That's all you do. You just dog TSA. Now I ain't saying you're wrong, but all you can do is dog TSA. That's all you do. Anyway, with that being said, next week, if there's more dynamite information going on in the NFL like it did this week, oh my, I might have to do an impromptu show in the middle of the week. I don't know, because it was way too much information to just do today. We didn't even go over half of the stuff I wanted to go over. But I need to stay on for a second, JT. But with that being the case, thank you guys for coming on. Thank you guys for listening. And this show has been brought to you by
Hayes Hero, don't be a zero, 15% off military discount. 624coffeecompany.com for more info. Visit the website, verify status, stop drinking dirty water. You deserve great coffee for great people. That's 624coffeecompany.com.
All right. Well, we want to get out of here. We'll say it's been real.
Should do that
until
more.
next Saturday. Happy St. Patty's Day, folks. Don't get too drunk. We're out.
Fantasy, sports, and politics.
Get ready to rumble!
You wanna talk smack? You in the right place. So take a step back before I get all up in your
Remember,
face.
because I don't remember. I remember every bit of this.
You're the dudes holding on the phone line. Your voice will be heard, sir.
Next caller, please.
Oh!
Derek's gonna get him.
Fantasy, sports, and politics. Fantasy, sports, and politics. Fantasy, sports, and politics. Fantasy, sports, and politics.
Listeners are asking questions about this